just had my first child. My wife had just had our first child. We just bought a big new house. I was earning 6 figures, and it was the start of the recession. But I just thought, if I don't do it, I'll regret not trying. If I do it and it doesn't work, I'm a salesperson, I'll get another job. And if I do it and it works, it'll be brilliant. I'm Spencer Gore. I'm the CEO of Gorley Group. Been running it since 2012. Gorley Group owns a number of different businesses. Go back to 2008, I've just set up my first business. I still had a non-compete clause. So I had about 3 months where I couldn't do any of the publishing stuff properly. So I was doing stuff behind the scenes, setting up bank accounts and the company. But I came up to Chelmsford City Football Club, where we are today, and said, look, I've got 3 months where I can't do any work for my business. Do you need a hand? And I met the commercial director, and I just ended up helping out there. And one of the first things we did was set up a networking event here to try and get local businesses down here to show them what we had. And one of the first events, Andy Sleek turned up, and I'm not a big fan of networking events. I don't like that sort of forced nature of conversations. I like to get to know someone and have a relationship. And I remember standing at the coffee point, and Andy walked up and said, "Yeah, hi, how you doing? I'm Andy," and I said, "I'm Spencer." And he said, "God, I hate these events." I said, "Yeah, so do I." And we ended up chatting for about 2 hours. I was just really interested. Andy basically said to me, I'm a business coach, and at the time I didn't really know what a business coach was. And I said, "Well, what does that do?" He said, "Well, have you ever been to the gym?" I said, "Occasionally, not very often, but yeah." He goes, "Have you ever had a personal trainer?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Well, that's what I do for businesses. I'll just make you work a bit harder than you would do on your own, and I'll give you some advice on what will help you get better." And that stuck with me. And I said, as we were leaving, I said, "Yeah, what books would you recommend?" And he said, "Well, there's 2 books, both called Winning. One by Jack Walsh, the CEO of GE. And one by Sir Clive Woodward, the England rugby coach." And I'm not really into rugby, but I chose to read that one first. And I was fascinated by how Sir Clive Woodward had set his rugby team up almost like a business. And I kept in touch with Andy, and I set up a new business in 2012, EMJ. And almost straight away I reached out to Andy and said, "Look, I want to work with you." And that's where it started. To start with, it was very much, I think it was a Thursday morning at 7 o'clock, I used to go and see him, whether it was between Christmas and New Year, you name it, we would go every Thursday morning at 7 o'clock. And it was just holding me accountable. It was like, right, you said you were going to do this, have you done this? Where are you at compared to where you said you were going to be at? And so that was really helpful to start with, because it was, you get distracted by everything going on. So just making sure you're on track with all those things was really useful. And then as we sort of evolved over time, we started doing more strategic stuff, and we got more of the senior leadership. As we got a senior leadership team, we got more of those involved, and we'd sit down and look at our challenges from the last quarter, our successes from the last quarter, and then we'd put a 90-day plan in place for the next quarter. Well, we now do that with our team every quarter for the last probably 10 plus years. We'll take all of the company out the office for the afternoon and do exactly that same format. So it's a lot of the stuff we've learnt, we've now implemented in the whole team. Get help. It's a tough world. One of the favourite things that me and Dan say to each other all the time is, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. It's really, really bloody hard running a business. You need to be relentless. You need help, so get some help. Mentors will help you, coaches will help you. Why wouldn't you use them?